Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you too can be part of the squad. And I just want to say thank you for everyone that has been watching and interacting with me. I've really enjoyed it so far and really hope to continue. So today we are going to be going through my paycheck breakdown. Now, I get paid on a bi-weekly basis, so I can't do a stuffing every single week. So on the off weeks, I will be walking you through on how it is that I came up with the amounts that I came up at the time that it is when I do my cash stuffings. I know for some people, what they'll do is they'll split the check so that they can go ahead and film every week. For me, that doesn't quite work out just because of how my bills are set up and all that fun stuff. I feel like it would be more of a hassle than it would be helpful. But of course, that's budgeting, right? And not everyone's gonna have the same thing. So this is just what works for me. So on the off weeks, this is what we'll do. And then next week, you will get regular cash stuffing video. Something that I did want to actually mention is I have the links to everything that I utilize down below now. I didn't realize how much money I spend on Amazon until I had to backtrack and put a list of everything together that I've ever purchased. So I'm sorry it took a couple of videos in, but it is down there. You can find everything down to the pens and all that fun stuff. So definitely check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. The only thing I couldn't find, guys, was this calculator. I'm really sorry. I did get it on Amazon, but it's been saying that it's unavailable. So I'll keep a lookout. If I find it, I'll put it down below, or I'll let you guys know that it's back in stock. Okay, so let's go ahead and just dive in. So for our cash stuffing next week, we will be stuffing $2,012. Now, this amount, I am a salary-based employee, so this doesn't change. It should stay pretty consistent. If you ever see it fluctuate up and down or whatever the case may be, it's because I did some DoorDash deliveries or stuff like that to just get an additional side income to try and bring this up as much as possible. And then, so what I wanted to show you guys was, before we jump in here, I actually wanted to show you my budget planner, which is linked down below. So at the beginning of every month, I will go through and I basically write all my bills. You'll notice that some of these are already crossed out, and that's obviously because in our last cash stuffing, we already paid these. So we don't have to worry about those. And then I will list out when payday is as well. And then in addition to that, obviously as bills come in, or, you know, if things change, all that fun stuff, I will go ahead and write them along the month just so I know, cross them off when it's paid, due, whatever the case. And then that way I'm able to see okay, what's been paid, are we good, check at the end of the month one more time, and I can see everything's crossed off. I don't got to worry about it. Perfect. And then on the side, I'll put any goals I have or notes in terms of okay, what do I want to assign my debt money to this month and all of that. So let's go ahead and pull this back up. So this sheet is actually one that I made. So if you guys are interested, definitely let me know. And let's switch to the pencil. So in terms of how I assign my money, where does it go, all that fun stuff, I do a zero-based budget, which means I essentially like to give every single dollar a job. I don't like to swipe and just, hope for the best. I want to make sure that at the beginning of every paycheck or before a paycheck, I know exactly where every single dollar is going, what's its purpose, and what what is it doing for me? So I am a firm believer that if you respect your money and assign it a job, I feel that it brings positive vibes and return on investment back to me. I have learned many money lessons throughout my life. Some very hard lessons, if I do say so myself. But lessons nonetheless. So to me, it is extremely important that I know where every single dollar is going, because if I know where it's going, I know what it's doing for me, and I know how to then bring more, the following month. So when I look at this amount, the first thing I always start with is my bills. That is the most important thing before we stuff any pretty envelopes, before we get into savings challenges, before we do anything. We need to make sure that these bills are accounted for and that they are good to go. And that's where my planner comes in. So I basically go ahead and check, like, okay, my next payday is on the 17th. This is going up on the 10th. So then I check to see when my next paycheck is and what do I have due before then? Is there something I can wait on? And so on. In my case, we have to pay the rest of these with my paycheck next week. So I'm going to go ahead and start writing this. First is we have Netflix. And that is $16. We have Spotify, $18. Xbox is $11. And if I sound a little congested or stuffy, I'm really sorry, but my allergies have been so bad. Like, if your allergies have been acting up, let me know so that we can have a little moment, because it's so bad. Okay, so Xbox is getting $11. Also, if any of you are gamers, please let me know. I would love to see if I have anyone. I personally probably spend too much time on it, but that's okay. And then SRP, 17. Gas is 32. And then you'll notice, so for instance, my gas bill is $31.28. I do round it up to the next dollar, and I do that just because it's easier when I am doing the math at the end of all of this, instead of having to go down to the cent. I find this to be easier, and then at the end of the month, I basically just add up all that's extra in my bank account, and then I'll throw it in an envelope, obviously depending on the amount, or just keep letting it grow. And then we have Apple, which is again another $4. And then Ring is $4.80. Or, oops, my car. My car is $4.80. My Ring is $11. Okay, so I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What did I do? 4. Oh, I paid Apple twice. That's my bad, guys. Okay, so now we're gonna close this up, and then we're gonna add all this up. So we have 11 plus 480 plus 32 plus 217 plus 4 plus 11 plus 18 and plus 16. So I have 789. Okay, so then the 789 we're gonna subtract from this $2,012, like so. So now at this point we have $1,223 left. So after I've taken care of business, then we're gonna go to our cash envelopes. So these are my week-to-week expenses. So let's go ahead and start off with food. Now with food, my budget tends to fluctuate. If I'm trying to obviously send more money to debt, I will make this smaller, be a little frugal. If I know I'm treating, myself or my sister, whatever the case may be, I'll go ahead and beef this up a little bit. So it really does depend, but when it does fluctuate, it's not by too much. It's usually like $20, $30. We are going to give ourselves $120, which will be $60 for 1 week, $60 for the next week. So we're gonna add 120. And then for gas, I'm gonna do 80. Then lottery isn't getting stuff this week. For miscellaneous, we're going to be putting $33. And for miscellaneous, this is just really like if something comes up and I have to put money aside for it or little things like that. This is just to pay something back. So I'm just throwing it in here. It's a one-time cost. It's not anything that's reoccurring. So that's what I use this envelope for. Personal, usually I give myself $15. I do have to buy some stuff. So I'm actually going to be giving myself $40 so I can get $20 each week. Sister time is not getting stuffed. So we're gonna add this up, 120 plus 80 plus 33 plus 40. So this is 273. Okay, now we've done our bills, which was a $789. We've done our expenses, which is a $273. So we're at $1,062 right now. And so we're gonna subtract that from our total amount that we're bringing in. And that means we have $950 to work with. So in regards to how I personally stuff, I don't put the same amounts week to week, especially as I'm focusing on paying off my debt. Those amounts tend to either be very low or vary and just kind of be all around. Obviously, once I no longer have debt, I'll be able to stuff the same amount week after week. So whenever you are making your budget, you've done your bills, you've done your expenses, you're taking care of business, the next thing to ask yourself is, what's a priority to me? Not every envelope is going to be stuffed every week, and that's okay. Last week I gave everything $1. So sometimes that's what it is. But to me, every dollar counts as long as we're giving it a purpose. So my focus is this beautiful section right here, which is my debt envelope. So for next week, in regards to obviously like this is what I have to work with, how much am I going to assign for it? And so what I'm going to do is, so I have $425 that I'm going to use to pay off my sister's phone. So at that point, we're going to subtract $425. I'm left with $525. So I want to send obviously as much as humanly possible to this envelope. So for this week, I'm actually going to send, let's do $400, and that'll go to my car. So if you notice, I'm already sending my car payment, and I'm sending more than I need to. This is just additional money so that, bye-bye, we can get rid of it. So, and all together, we are going to be allocating $825 to this envelope. And again, this is where the majority of my money goes right now. Obviously, if you have no debt, it'll be different for you. Just think of it, what envelope is your priority? And that just happens to be mine right now. So now we have 273 plus 789 plus 825. Subtract that from our paycheck. And so we have $125 left to work with. So now we can go to our sinking funds and our savings section and ask ourselves, okay, once again, what's a priority for me? What's going to get most of the amounts? And then go from there. That are important to me would be like, not that these aren't all important, but some of them aren't, you know, time pressing or anything like that. But the next thing that, again, I'm trying to beef up would be my emergency, my car, and my medical. These are all things that tend to be expensive, which is how I come up with, is it a priority or not to me? So for emergency, I do want to get it to 1,000. If you checked out my last video, I'm at 212. So I'm a little bit long ways, but we'll get there. So for emergency, we're going to go ahead and do 20. Again, subtract that. And then we are going to, so for car only has $40 left. If you watched my last video, I had $422, but it was time to renew my tags. So now I only have, I think, like $40 left in my car envelope, which is really sad, but you know, that's why we save up for it. I'm not gonna lie, it did sting seeing it all just be taken out from my bank account, but nonetheless, we're gonna re-beef this sucker up. So I'm going to do $15 for car. And then, like I said, the last thing that for me is something that I definitely want to have in hand would be medical money, doctor visits, all of that fun stuff. It adds up and it's so expensive. Like, we're not gonna get into that, but it's so expensive. Okay, so we have $70 left that we are working with. So the next important thing for me will be my personal savings. I'm actually trying to beef that up. And so I created a savings challenge that totals $680. Nothing crazy, but I do think it'll be nice to obviously have that in hand. And I went ahead and pre-highlighted what amount we would be stuffing. So for this week, we're going to be stuffing $25. So we can go back here. 25. Okay. And after that, we are going to go ahead and actually stuff our dream fund, which again is the next important thing to me. The dream is I will be going to, and like how I say, I will, because we're all about positive vibes here and manifesting good things. So I will be going to Europe next week, or next week, not next week, next year for a whole month. I said it, a month, and I'm beyond ecstatic. It's definitely way out of my comfort zone, but I think it's one of those things you have to do if you can and are able to, obviously. So with that, we are going to go ahead and put $25 towards this dream. And so that equals 50. And now we have $20 to work with. So next thing that we are actually going to beef up, Christmas is coming, and it's like one of those things, you know, right? Like you see it, like the year end is coming, but at the same time, you don't expect it to get here so quickly. And it just hit me that I have to buy people presents. So we are going to put $10 in gifts because we need to start saving up for that. And then so we have $10 left to work with. So we're going to do, let's do 5 for vacation. And that's because your girl's been really wanting to go to the beach, but there's no money to go to the beach. So we have to save it. And then we're going to go ahead and put $3 towards future and our remaining 2 towards school. So let's go ahead and add this up really quick. 20 plus 5 plus 2 plus 15 plus 3 plus 10 plus 20. So $75. And then I added that up. Cool. So now if we add all these up, it should equal what we have here. So plus 50, plus 825, plus 789, plus 273, 2012. Perfect. And then you'll notice I went ahead and crossed something off. I crossed off clothes, and I'm going to fix this today so that it doesn't look ugly. I think it's important to reevaluate your budget every once in a while to make sure that it's working for you, you're being efficient, and not only that, but you're being smart about your money. For me, I don't really buy clothes like that, shoes or anything like that. I'm one of those, I'll buy it when I need it, you know, and that's after it's like worn and torn and I need to replace it. So that's really what I use my personal envelope for, in weeks or the months, whatever, that I do have to, you know, go through that cycle of I gotta buy socks and stuff like that. I do give myself more money and I budget for it. I don't necessarily feel, for me personally, I gave the clothes thing a try only because obviously I feel like a lot of other budgeters have it. So I was like, oh, like, you know, let's see if this is something that I'll utilize, whatever the case may be. But honestly, when it comes to stuffing it, like, it's not something that excites me. It's not something that I feel really does anything for me. So we're getting rid of it. And so if we refer back to our last paycheck sheet, there is $5 in clothes. So we're actually going to repurpose those $5 and we are going to add them towards gifts. So I know the amounts match up, so that means I stuffed every single dollar that I'm getting paid. But just to remind myself to change this over, I'm going to put the 5 here and I'm going to change the total, and then that way when I'm stuffing my envelopes next week, I'll know that it's because I took out clothes and gave myself the $5 here. So that concludes our paycheck breakdown video. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave them down below. Comments, thoughts. If there's something that you're like, hey, this is what I do, or this is what I do differently, please let me know. I love interacting with you guys. It literally makes my day. And in addition to that, obviously, please make sure to like if you enjoyed this video and hit that subscribe button so that you too can be part of the squad. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.